drive it up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. He finds his man, complete. It's Richards. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's second down. This defense for the Vikings, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It was a Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
2nd and 16. Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They won in 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
They're on 19-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Another big play here as they strike for 31. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. And And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got his open man, it's Carr. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And I think this is a run we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good.
It's disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Vikings hit 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins now from the 50. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route. Had plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From the gun, here's Cousins. On the move to his left. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
With the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They started on the ground with Eckler. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Herbert now. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. Calling a gain of a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Herbert. This is Smith with a grab. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll take this to the 46.
Well, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
He'll field this at the 5. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Cook up the gut. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Cousins. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Herbert on 3rd down now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Herbert on the option. He's going to run with it. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. But that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Second and 5. Back to throw here, Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Garcia. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 1st down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Hopkins' kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
Sam Martin is set to kick off.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
At the 20-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. It's Eckler again. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll weave all the way up to just a few yards shy of midfield. A great return.
What a way to start the second half. These guys are showing no signs of letting up. They have a chance to take a decided advantage with this possession.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first carry for Samaje Perine. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the middle with Cook. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They run again on first down. Cook. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
On 2nd and 15 now. Herbert. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Taken from just outside the 30. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Cousins gives this to P-Ryan. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, here's P-Ryan. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's Herbert. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Herbert. He finds his man complete. It's Carr. Touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chargers get a bit closer. Hopkins with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13.
Vikings 23, Chargers 10. Sam Martin is set to kick off.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
3rd and long for Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Charger drive about to get going.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. Past the 20. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. That's what they've done all game long.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Makes the score Vikings 30, Chargers 10.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. It's beginning to look like a second straight loss following the win in the opener as they trail by a bunch here in the fourth quarter, starting out this drive 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On second down, it's Drake. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard after the 25.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Draw play, it's Eckler. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Cousins a handoff. This is Pirine. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run again
again with Pirine. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They go play action. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now that's a big pickup right there. And so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking out play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. First down, here's the run with Cook. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Pirine. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on third. Cousins now. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Herbert. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't. Because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it. Because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
They have 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? They had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when we're able to have everyone contribute both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they fall to defeat for the second time this season. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.